My insides peel, like every church bell in the world is clanging beneath my skin. I'm lost and bewildered, an empty cup rapidly filling with cold, wet, and wrong. Beneath the waves, I thrash and roll, my arms and legs churning through the icy water, but I can't reach the surface. I can't find my magic, can't grow fins or flippers, or go up in a puff of smoke. For the first time since I left the garden, I'm trapped in my girl form. In this shell, too fragile to survive the ocean's dark embrace. In the skin of a girl who never learned to swim. Why learn to swim when you can become a dolphin? When you can grow crab claws and scuttle along the sand beneath the waves until you find shore? My thoughts are reasonable thoughts, but the rest of me isn't being sensible at all. My eyes sting like open wounds, my lungs scream for air, and my heart slams frantically against my ribs. My fingers claw at the water, trying to tear a hole in the sea, just a small one, big enough for a girl to fit through. If I can put distance between myself and the island, surely my magic will return. I'll be able to turn into a seal and cut through the waves like a spoon through custard. I'll swim hard and fast, find the driftwood where Wig and Poke await my return from my scouting mission, and tell them we must leave at once. The magic of this island is real, and far too strong for an earworm or scritch to breach. It was nearly too much for me. I made it through the wards, but at what price? Perhaps the ultimate price.
Something changed in the time it took for me to swim out to where I'd first seen her and fish her from beneath the waves. While I was towing her back to the island, I touched Clara as intimately as I've ever touched anyone, but it didn't feel racy. I'd been too scared that she was going to die, that I would fail. She would drown, and I'd have to watch her corpse wash up on shore with the evening tide. When we broke surface and I heard her suck in a breath, I was so relieved there wasn't room to feel anything else. I'd saved her life. I'd never saved anything before, let alone something so important, so sacred. It made sitting there on the beach, watching her blink and shiver and gawk at me with her shadowy blue eyes, one of the best moments of my life. It made her something more than a pretty girl. It made her my responsibility. Even before she touched me, I knew I had to take care of her. And after she had, I swore I'd defend her to the death. And now, exactly a month later, I've determined that death might be what it comes to. Because I swear I'm going to kill the next wanker who comes sniffing around my dad's rooms looking for spiritual guidance and spends his entire visit stretching his neck for a glimpse of Clara. None of these fools needed spiritual guidance 4 weeks ago. But as soon as Dad moved Clara into his bedroom, and he, Professor Roon, and I took to bunking in the corners of the sitting room, Professor Roon because he's as pious as a priest and twice as stuffy, and Dad didn't think it was appropriate for Clara to stay in a house with Dad and me alone. Dad's counselling calendar has been as full as a debutante's dance card. With the constant bustle of gawkers, Clara comes out of her room less and less often. Not that I blame her. Every time she sets foot in the dining hall with me, she's mobbed. Even Sunday morning services aren't entirely safe. Being stared at like a zoo exhibit by a bunch of randy schoolboys has to be hellish business. But still, I miss her.